Hi, welcome to All Create by Innovate. My name is Mirabel Oziema Okebo.
And I'm Oche Anejo.
As you already know, All Create is basically a platform for gisting, it's for talking. We talk about basically science, technology, innovation, it's an interactive session.
Yes, of course. And this particular episode is going to be a special one as it marks the International Day of the Girl Child. So I'm excited, even though I'm not a girl child myself, but I'm sure you'll take the smile away from me.
Well, the topic is a really nice one that people shy away from. So having this on our plate, I mean, something you should really watch.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for anything better, right?
You couldn't have asked for anything better.
Okay, and in commemoration of the Day of the International Girl Child, I just want to ask this question. Why is there a perception that science, technology, things related to STEM are gender-based?
Um, your question is very tricky, bro. I think when we look back at educational background, you see that most women didn't study like sciencey courses.
Yes.
They were fixated more on arts and
Commercial.
commercial subjects or rather courses, and then so most of them, or now what is making up the population, they have come out of that background and they are they are seeing the trend and they are like, oh, tech is a minefield, it's like a landmine rather, and they want to be involved. So you see now the female child is leaving her roots and it's like
Yes.
going into what is,
Spreading her wings.
I mean, she's spreading her wings and it's like, oh, let's look at the bigger picture, and they're picking up new skills. You understand?
But I think you're speaking from a place of experience because you're an architect, I guess.
Yes, I
Okay,
studied
so
architecture.
why did you choose architecture despite the fact that there was a lot of, it's supposedly a male-dominated course or career?
Wow. Okay. Architecture. I mean, it's actually then it was male dominated, but when I was in school, we had like females. I was not the only girl in my course.
Yeah, come on, but
We
you
had
can't
we
tell me
had
that you
like
guys
15 girls.
15.
I'm
I
not
don't
even
believe
joking.
it. I don't believe 15.
15 girls.
Because I've seen, like, we've all gone through the educational system. I've gone to some schools or rather some classes where you just see like 5 girls, Go to Federal University of Technologies around the country. You see in a class like maybe 2, 3 girls. And forgive me to say, but like they look more like men than girls. So
Wow.
no shades. I'm just saying it how it is. So
Well, I went to Convenant University,
okay.
and I can tell you that the girls in this said male dominated courses were girls.
Wow.
They were girls because you could see an engineering girl with her face beat, makeup and everything, still going for class, still going to carry all her tools and everything. I
Wow.
mean,
And I think the most important thing, because we can't lose oversight of the fact that it's not just about the participation, but they're also thriving.
yeah.
Yes, like you are, by the way.
Yeah, the thing that is beautiful about the female child is like they don't want to feel left behind. Literally, you see society evolving, and you don't want to be at the back end. You want to be one of the frontiers, like pushing these
Yes,
things.
yes,
And
absolutely.
of course, you know the saying now: what a man can do, a woman can do
I
better.
don't know that saying.
I'm telling you now,
You
so
just
you
brought
know.
it up. You
I'm
just
telling
brought it
you
up. I
now,
don't
so
know
you
about
remember.
that. Okay.
Women are like pushing their limits.
Yeah.
You understand? Or rather, there was a limit society set for them, and now they are breaking barriers and they are going forward. That's one thing I admire about the female child, speaking from
Well, you
experience.
just heard it from the horse's mouth, or do I say Mirabelle's mouth? But we don't want to give much. So we'll just take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay connected to Alt Create and Innovate. Welcome back to Alt Create at Innovate. And like I said, it's going to be an exciting discussion with Mirabelle. We're talking about the International Day of the Girl Child. And, we want to focus on the poor participation of women or girls in STEM courses and STEM careers. And in case you don't know what STEM means, it's just an acronym that stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So stay tuned while we go on a short break to talk about how we do it, which is another special segment of the podcast.
Hi, my name is Adebumi Lasisi. I'm a women instructor at Innovator, a recycler. I recycle waste through weaving. What we do is we gather the pure water waste, we wash them, we dry them, and we cut them into long strands, just like this. And afterward, we weaved. So this is the process of weaving. The instrument here is called a loom. And then we have the warp. This is the warp. The warp is 10%, and the weft, which is the nylon waste, is 90%. And when combined together, we make beautiful products from it. So this is the bag made from the pure water nylon. You can see how colorful it is. The color is as a result of the warp. That's the thread. So that's what brings out the color. Thank you.
Welcome back to All Create by Innovate. I hope you enjoyed that short clip.
It was the bomb.
It was the bomb, actually. So, like you already know, we're talking about the poor representation of women in tech. And basically, what do you think?
Well, I think even just based on what you said, talking about your schooling and things like that, I just feel like it's more of a stereotype thing because we find women doing different things nowadays. Like I watched a documentary, I think that was the BBC, of a woman who, she was a bus driver in Lagos and she was making a lot of money. So like there's no reason for us to have barriers on this, but based on the society we live in, these things are inevitable. So I just feel like there's a clash, but there's also a balance that needs to be struck.
Yeah, I believe like one of the major challenges where you see women maybe not coming out as often or as presumed is the fear of not being picked. You understand? It's like if I say I can do this and a man comes out and say he can do this, they will most likely pick the man. Speaking from okay, you say an architecture background, now architecture is site work and all that.
Yeah, of course.
So like most people when they hire you, it's very few that look at the fact that this person is skilled to the bones, but very few look at like can she be moving around in sites? Can she do this? Can she? And that alone can put fear in someone's body.
What you just said now, it reminds me of a conversation I just had like barely 30 minutes ago. I was like, okay, when it comes to heavy duty equipment handling, do you say that, okay, gender equality has to come into that? Because it's kind of tricky. I don't want to be seen as misogynistic, obviously, but it's something that you can't just help but ask yourself that question.
But I have definitely seen women lift weights. I mean, what are you saying? I have seen women lift weights.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. But I know there's a capacity that women shouldn't, like when it comes to lifting heavy machineries, it's like there's actually a capacity a woman shouldn't pull to. But of course, some still pull through. How do they do it? Of course, they've probably been working out for like so long and they have built so much muscle that they can push it. But yeah, you can't really say what a woman can or cannot do, in my perspective, because you might be surprised. Maybe I can't do it. I can't push this machinery, but you might see a woman that will come and defy all odds and push it. Do you get?
Yeah, of course I do.
That alone, I
do.
mean.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, I agree with you. And still speaking on, women in tech, we've got a special guest. But before we go to that segment, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. world of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, alternatively known as STEM, generates a considerable chunk of global revenue in the advancement of a universal ecosystem. STEM, through its numerous innovators, has positioned itself for optimum relevance in the coming years. These innovators are within a common goal to create a generational prototype. Across the world, there has been an underrepresentation of the female gender in STEM over the years, as women count for less than 3% of industry CEOs. Despite this, history boasts of fierce, trailblazing women in STEM who refuse to back down from their fight against gender misrepresentation by leaving their marks through inventions that have consolidated their legacies over time. In Nigeria, the trend is also evident in the number of STEM university graduates, which the National Bureau of Statistics records at 22%, another proof that the world of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is a male-dominated one.
Hi, welcome back to All Create by Innovate. Like we said before, we have a special guest today. So she'll be introducing herself. Woman in tech.
All right. Okay, woman. Okay, you're obviously a man. I'm Jane Cre8, the digital communication strategist at Innovate Hub and the deputy head of communications.
Oh. Oh, deputy head of communications.
Oh, that's a tall
Head
honor.
of communications aside.
Oh, we'll give honor to whom honor is due.
I'm telling
What do you think?
Me, I'm just, I'm a product designer.
Digital communications.
Okay, that's fine. You're welcome to the podcast, and it's great to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. From the feature story, you already know we're talking about the poor representation of women in STEM. Okay, so just to set the ball rolling, what's your perception about the poor representation of women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics?
Yeah, I think that, and even from the research and facts, the percentage of women in STEM, it's not balanced as compared to men. We see about 22%, right? From the documentary we watched, 22% of women are in STEM. And what does that mean? That about 79% of men are in STEM, or the male child in STEM. That means it's a huge imbalance. And that means women are not even given the opportunity to contribute to national building or to development in different sectors.
Okay.
This sounds really sad. Why do I feel like pain in my chest?
Yeah, let's look at it from the statistics aspect. Right?
Okay,
So
and I believe you meant graduates, female graduates,
Female
22%, of course.
And that
yes.
female graduates don't even know whether they are involved in
Exactly.
their occupation, if they're actually working.
Yes, because we live in a society where you could study X and actually practice Y. So yes, that's a huge imbalance. Okay, so just speaking about this further, coming home to Nigeria, and just like you mentioned, 22%. Why is the reason? Why is that? Why is it just? It sounds so weird and so uneven that we're having this challenge. In your opinion, why do we have this challenge?
In Nigeria.
Yes.
So there's a whole lot of factors involved, from people experiencing anxiety in STEM, maths anxiety, to the policies we have in Nigeria, to we live in a society that is male, is predominantly male, like a patriarchal kind of system where it's the male that have the stronger voice and preference is given to the male child. And we can also see that, also speaking from religious.
There's still some areas where they don't believe that women should go to school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, as much as we are living in a woke era and while in the city, there's still some downtown places where they don't believe that
Very
women should go to
orthodox
school. I'm
practices,
telling
and
you.
it keeps
And
going on.
it's something that keeps me up at night. It's like, why would you think female child shouldn't go to school?
Exactly.
Where did this come from?
But me, I wouldn't really judge from a religious perspective.
Yeah.
Now, let's even look at as a federal government, as Nigeria, the policies set in place for STEM is not clear. There's no one even targeting female representation in STEM. And that says hugely that they are not even thinking that women, maybe they are thinking, but indirectly with their actions, they are not saying that women should be involved in STEM or the girl child should be involved in STEM. So it's the national policy of the country that determines what they will follow, their implementation plan. And if from that level they are not seeing the importance to add women in STEM or to specifically target women in STEM, then we have a huge problem with that. And that boils down also to, even like you said, you asked the question. So I was talking about math anxiety.
Yeah.
Many young people don't want to study something relating to maths.
Man, trust me, sorry to cut you short, but I'm a living witness to that fact that, okay, I don't know, maybe psychologically or something, but like maths wasn't just it for me because I had a terrible teacher. Okay, yes, I love teachers. I love the teaching profession, but yes, when it comes to the mode to which you're educated, you know, it affects the development of a child positively or negatively. Yes.
So, yeah, let's talk. The teachers are not really doing their job. Let's say most
Wow,
of them. I don't want to say all of them, right?
Of course, but
So,
that's like throwing shades. That's like throwing
fail a
shades.
student because you feel you had a tough time yourself while you were studying.
That's one part I can never wrap my head around. Because I mean, if I know lecturers that carry grudges, grudges against their students. Maybe you say, "Oh, one time I didn't greet you like that." You be like, "Ah, you failed my course. Forget
Yes.
it. I promise you, you carry over." Stuff like that, and it's saddening, but yeah, it still happens.
But I believe we shouldn't just focus on education, you know, the teachers. You know, there'll also be the part to be played from the students themselves, as well as the parents or guardians. So it shouldn't just be focused solely on the educators, the
We can
teachers.
say we should have more role models, right? That the girl child can look up to.
Honestly,
mentors, not the ones.
Honestly, because I think
female.
that is like one of the major solutions. There should be someone you look up to. People underrate the use of like role models because they actually inspire and motivate
Of
you
course,
to
of
being better. For women, like seeing another woman doing this, let me give you an instance. Ngozi Iweala, you know her now.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, like she they give me joy because seeing her, it's like you did it. I mean, and like she's not my role model, but like she's someone I look up to, and I believe like if every female child, at least majority of the female child, has someone they want to be like, somewhere they envision to,
Yeah,
knowing that you
someone
can get
inspiring.
somewhere, knowing that there's a limit, like there's that place you can get, you don't think you can get there alone. I mean,
Yeah, let's make it easier for people to, join this field. Don't make what's it called now? Don't make it
more difficult than it already is.
Exactly. You set different like obstacles
Yeah.
like when you must fall.
because
Okay, no, go ahead.
like the way she said, you fall. It's like because I did it and I feel like 3 times. You too, you must fail. That's what some people have, that mentality.
Yeah, it's a very terrible mentality. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so talking about the role the government has to play in encouraging women to participate. Like what can the government do in case they're listening to us right now?
Yeah.
I feel like the government, they should pick in. Like they have to, like, the people in power have to find these things like needful, because one, if they don't see it needful, they'll never like pay attention to it. You understand?
Of course.
I feel like they need more females in position. Because
Yes.
once they have more females in this political position, I believe that things will get rolling. You understand? The ball will like actually start moving.
Oh, ho,
Yeah.
ho, ho. Since I'm the only guy.
No.
I'm the only guy on the
She's actually
podcast,
making
and
a
you.
point here, 'cause
No, of
some of the
course.
things
No,
I
I get
actually
a
want
point.
to
I
say.
get a point, but I have to strike the balance as well because you
So-
guys are focusing on the fact
No,
that.
it's not
Okay.
about it's not
Okay.
about that. So if as a country
Yes.
our national policy, does not directly target women, don't you think we failed in a way? So
course.
even from there, the policy and the implementation, and then bring in programs that can actually promote women in STEM. So I was reading a paper and I discovered that some of these policies that they think they have, women were not even part of, the process
Yes, of creating the policies, yes.
deliberation and all those plans.
Yeah, for-
right.
Of course, so-
Let's involve the women.
Yes, I think that's a fantastic point because if you actually, you can't tell where the shoes hurt when you're not putting them on.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if the women were not part of the, the
Decision-making.
groundwork,
Yeah.
it's just going to create more difficulty in getting involved. I
Yeah.
think that's a fantastic point.
Right now, people, like, if a woman wants to run for governor, like, she still finds, like, those nasty comments. Woman won't run, oh. Stuff like that. And it's, as much as it's a joke to some people, it's serious to others.
Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine a woman in governor, like, in the governorship seat. I mean, she will bring women child. Don't worry. the table will feel. At least we would have like opportunities. I think that is. It stems from the decision making, like you said, the groundwork. If women are part of these decisions that are going to be made, at least it will affect. We know that it's going round. Not that it will touch some people and not touch some people, which.
Of course, I get that. But just for the record, though, this is about science and technology. We're not talking about politics.
Talking about politics.
And going back to
It involves everything.
yeah, it's all encompassing. I get that. But going back to the poor representation of women in STEM. Okay, if you have a word for based on the Day of the International Girl Child, if a girl child who is aspiring to be an innovator is watching right now, what would you tell her?
If they don't teach you, teach yourself.
Exactly. Well, that's our opinion.
If they don't teach you, teach yourself.
That's true. Like, don't let the stereotypes you see around, don't let the discouragements make you think you can't do it. If you can think it, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So keep that.
Now I got something out of that. She's not just a comms expert. She's also a motivational speaker.
Of course not.
Because I also feel motivated. Like from what she just said now. Yes, obviously that's nice.
Well, yeah.
I think you buy IPB.
But when I say if they can't teach you, teach yourself. In the sense that if society is not going to let you do it, I mean, find a way.
Yes.
You understand?
course,
Find that there's always a way.
Now we have
Find a way.
online.
I mean,
you have
like
to go to classes
people
to learn.
underestimate YouTube.
And the thing is, that extra push to get them to achieve, what they achieved. They just had to, against all odds,
Yeah.
There's this series called Genius. It talks about different kinds of geniuses per season. And I think the first season had to do with Albert Einstein. And just him going through what he went through, you can tell that he was self-motivated. So many times there are many barriers, even speaking from the angle of being a girl child, misogyny, many other factors, involved. So it's all about, motivating yourself despite the barriers involved, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with you.
Okay, how about you? Do you agree with me?
I copy.
Wow, everybody agrees with me. I think I'm an inventor right now.
Or maybe you're a feminist. Oh, you
Yeah.
don't want
Well,
to go there.
I won't call myself a feminist. I'll just say I'm an advocate for equal rights. So that's where that's where the line is drawn, basically. But I love women.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I
like
do.
that.
I do. I love women. I love my mom. I love my sister.
And other women.
Of course,
So you
definitely.
love. You can, of course, you definitely.
I love you guys,
your
man.
sister.
I love you guys too.
What's going on here?
Okay,
No, we can call it tech love. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or electronic love, however you choose to coin it. Anyway, it's been nice having you here, Miss Jane
Thanks so
Orikri.
much.
It's been, sharing your fountain of knowledge with us. We appreciate that. And it's also been a fabulous episode, with my co-host Mirabelle. And we'll be back next week for yet another incredible content that we're dishing out from Cre8. And right now, our social media handles are going to appear on the screen in case you want to join in the conversation as well as get engaged one way or the other. But from me, Oche Anejo, and Mirabelle, and Jane Orikri, it's a goodbye. And see you next week.